XPN is 1. And then
No.
second.
Nom is Bravo, and
all these dashes in front of their names drives me crazy.
Yeah, so it's gonna be
Trap, Land of Fire, Crash Zone Alpha.
Yep, Trap, Land of Fire, Crash Zone Alpha, and the good part of it is XPN's gonna be the Alpha team, all 3 matches, and
no ship bans yet.
Nom's gonna be the Bravo team, all 3. So, yeah, now we're just waiting for some ship bannerism.
So that's that. NOM is choosing which ship they want to ban right now.
Are there more bans in the later rounds, or is it still just the one ship kind of stuff? Because
that's a good question. I don't know. It feels to me like it feels to me as though like I don't know. It might be that for group stage 1, there's only one ban that gets applied throughout the entire trilogy, whereas tomorrow for group stage 2, it might be, they might ban individually a ship per game. Like, how much do you think that RNG would have wanted to ban the Kleber in the last? You know what I mean? That Kleber that they kept bringing to pair up with that Yu Yang. Yeah. So.
Well, I mean, every map is different. Every map's gonna have ships that are gonna matter more than other maps. Like, for instance, the one where they took the Woosters. It's just, it would be so much more, I don't know, dynamic, I guess, if we saw the ship ban kind of stuff. But I think last COTS, and I know North America was different than all the other regions because we had bans whereas others did not. Because we're special.
We are special.
I think it was like they had multiple. Like, you could ban 2 or 3 ships, I think it was. So each side could kind of like ban a section of the ship populace, the shipulace or whatever, to carve out kind of whatever the niche for their strategy was to allow them to do a thing or to just deny the enemy team something, as opposed to like a single ship, which is nice. But I don't really think you can define a comp around like removing a single ship.
It's true, and I don't think it was ever supposed to be that. I think, like you were saying, it's just, hey, this seems to be a pain in the ass. Let's do something about it. I think that's about as it. All right.
Well, the maps are set, and the ship bans just came through. It's a Hindenburg from XPN and Des Moines from NOM.
Okay, well, so if I'm hearing that correctly, the first ban, you've got to be kidding me. Hindenburg. Okay, Des Moines, that makes sense. But so XPN bans the Hindenburg? They must,
I know. Oh, the humanity.
NOM must be bringing a Hindenburg consistently for that to be the case, right?
I suppose. Is there anything that really fills the Hindy's niche? I suppose maybe a Henry, yeah? Although the Henry shells would be floatier, no?
We haven't seen a single Henry, have we?
No, I think that's mostly fallen out of favor in terms of more knife fighty kind of stuff. But like, I have to ask because you play a lot of German ships. I got all the way up to the whatever the hell the tier 9 French cruiser was before I was like, this is just willingly torturing myself. Why am I playing with these floaty awful shells?
I hate the French cruisers.
Okay, well, good. So I take it to mean then that like the Henry's version of shell is much more orbital than the Hindenburg. Is that correct?
Yes. The Henry used to be way too good. Sorry. The Henry was way too good because it had that insane acceleration with the speed buff, with speed module, or what is it? The speed. What do we call it?
Engine boost.
Engine boost. Jesus, thank you. With engine boost, it was just you couldn't hit it, and it could fire at you from 18 kilometers. And the only way to really like kind of balance that was, well, the shells are floaty, so even though it can be firing at you from 18, 20 kilometers away and dodge everything, it has a hard time hitting you back, which, good lord, what an obnoxious, what a frustrating gimmick. So they nerfed the acceleration and the maneuverability and whatnot, but the shells stayed floaty. So I'm just not a big fan of it, and I think that's why we haven't really been seeing it. Hindenburg shells are much more easy to place. And they fire faster, and they hit hard. But the difference, of course, is that the Hindenburg is not nearly as maneuverable, nor is it as well protected. I want to say that as the Henry has sort of trolley like trap armor, and the Hindenburg is a little more. I don't know. It's got that. It's got that. Jeez, I'm getting tired. Sorry. It's got that turtleback armor that likes to eat full pens, and then it's got a 30 mil deck that loves to be overmatched by 457s. So
sure,
yeah.
Well, if for some reason that somebody was like they were going to double down on this Hindenburg, I know these are not the same, but could you replace a Hindenburg with a Venezia?
Yeah, I think so. I think that those two would function similarly in terms of this is a long-range spammer that does, significant damage with lots of shells, and if you happen to get it in range of a DD, the DD gets vaporized. But Venezia is far more maneuverable, I want to say, unless your Hindenburg's running like full rudder mod, but I don't recommend that. Hindenburg wouldn't be a terrible choice, but like in ranked, I think Hindenburg's a terrible choice. So I don't know about COTS though. In COTS, I feel like so much of it is about, hey, can you sit here and trade better than your opponent? And Hindenburg is very good at trading. So
yeah, I would imagine, but I mean, the only thing that I would have to wonder is how far away from the action do you have to be in order to trade in a Hindi? Granted, we saw that Nevsky in the last match that I think turned in, and it was like, going after the gearing took a sizable payment in blood off of the gearing, but ended up losing almost 2/3 of its health because even though it's open water, it's still like cruiser, it still got wrecked.
Right.
I mean, if you have to be, say, 16 to 23 kilometers away, I believe the Hindi is still a threat out that far where it can still land the shells and light the fires and be the obnoxiousness incarnate. But at the same time, if you need to turn around and actually push, like, that's still a lot of kilometers to be away from an objective. That's a lot of time just getting into position if for instance, that flank starts to run.
Yeah, it's true. So we'll have to see. I feel like on Trap, it might not be a bad idea because, Trap is really is sort of I feel like almost range mod Hindenburg would be a decent option just to be able to sort of cross map things. Yeah, I'm interested. Although, of course, oh no, the guys in PN found a picture of me from a job I did, an active job.
So
And
were
they're
you
posting
in
it
a
around?
clown? Were you
Oh
in a
no!
clown costume, or how embarrassing is this? Like,
It's actually it's not really embarrassing. It was a legit thing.
so like not a bukkake scene. That's cool. Okay, cool.
It is not a bukkake scene. Thank you for clarifying. No, it's I had a really small role on the first episode of the TV show Cougar Town with Courtney Cox. Yeah, so like in the first 3 minutes of the first episode, you can see me in it, and it came out on stream yesterday, I think, and then they found it and they screenshotted it. Oops.
So
I didn't expect that, but
I mean, I know we should all subscribe to the service so that we can all stream it and get lots of royalties for the show. But let's be frank. Did you get it with Ms. Cox or no?
I did not. I'm sorry.
No!
Sorry to break your bubble, guys. Sorry. She's not my type. What can I say?
Oh, you're not the anti-cougar? You're not one for the older ladies? Is that what you're saying?
Not exactly. No. Yeah, but so looks like we're almost ready here. Segue. Nom's getting a few guys. Nom's getting a few guys still readied up. They're missing one player. I like that XPN has a guy in their team named SEAL Team 6, but VI, and then a guy named Shrimpy. I like that too. Like Shrimpy. So looking back, while we wait for this, looking back over the there were a couple of clans that had not finished theirs yet. It looks like the secondary clan or the secondary team from PN, Nigerian Princes Need Your Help. Looks like they triumphed over Armada Rosita. Congratulations. A ship, abandoned ship. beat TSIOF. TNG finished 2-1 over YOLO with a W. YOLO's now going to go on to face CAG again, I believe, to see who gets to move forward from them. Mio, MIO, beat Neon 2-0. And Dale beat XPN in the previous round. That's why XPN is here now. So, very interesting.
Didn't you do a podcast with Dale? I think I remember the picture.
Yeah, actually, that was Borla. That was Borla's first. It was his first one all by himself.
This is inaugural. All right. I didn't actually listen to that one, but I do remember. I think I've listened to maybe 4 or 5. So unfortunately, I'm pretty scummy. I'm way behind the times on this, but I do remember seeing the picture and like, ooh, interesting. So when I saw their name, I had something to connect to.
Yeah, for sure. Dale, I guess either used to be either Tash or Kent. I think it used to be Tash. From the two clans, Tash and Kent. But now, if I'm not mistaken, they became Dale. Their leader is just a math teacher, and
that's okay. He used to come around and chat a few times, so I've seen him at my Twitch stream once or twice. But I think that's been a little while. I think he knows. I teach about the game, and he knows about the game, so there's not too much to learn there. Well, looks like XPN is all rocking and ready to go, and NOM is saying, "Hey, sorry about the delay. We're still worrying about we're still trying to get somebody." Looks like they're down a single dude. So once that person's able to hop back on, we should be good to go, and then we can kick off the best of 3. But in the moment, it still seems like we're waiting for a bit.
Okay. Yeah, I guess they're waiting on one guy, but they're saying, "Oh, there he is." Okay. Well, so we might be ready here soon. The last guys are just getting ready to.
So Dash N is the majority of this this group. I see it, or sorry, Dash NOM. Is Dash N like a sub clan? Do you know?
I don't think so. I think Dash NOM is the competitive name they chose. That clan Dash N Dash, which is Namakia. I'm pretty sure NOM is what they chose just as the name of their COTS team.
Got it.
Yeah, some folks in my chat were asking why. I think someone was like, "Wait a minute, why is it that QQ7 can have 5 QQ7 guys, an 07 guy, and 3 guys from AP, and it still be QQ7?" And it's because you technically don't have to be a clan; you just have to be a team. So,
because their milkshake is better than yours.
So if I wanted to, for example, I could start a team called Bogsy's team, and I could get my favorite people from 07, Gaishu, a bunch of other weird people that like are super good at this game that have no correlation with each other, and just get them on my team if they were willing for some reason, and that would be fine. So, here we go. All right.
I would like to just put this in before we start. If you can you please name it Bogsercise?
Bogsercise?
Yes.
I'll do my best.
Thank you. Okay. What do we have over on XPN?
On XPN, we have Double Montana. We have Salem, Moskva, Nevsky, Stalingrad. So 3 long-range radars there. And then Gearing, Double Daring. So once again, we have a 3DD comp. That seems to be the way to go these days. What about NOM?
Yeah, interesting on the Double Daring. That's not what we have over here, but we have something a little bit similar with the Montana Conqueror for the OOF. We got a Salem, Venezia, Double Stalingrad, and then we've got a Gearing, Daring, Holland. So we don't have the smoke on the Holland, but we do have the heal. So similar, but not.
Right. So the Holland's main gimmick is that it has a heal, and it has rapid reloading, long range, but low damage, very, very fast torpedoes. Its other main gimmick, and really the thing that makes it as special as it is it has the best AA in the game, if I'm not mistaken. However, there are no carriers. So that all means Jack Diddley. So we'll see if that's a mistake, whether a Shima or a Gearing might not have been a better choice from Namakya. But we'll find out, I guess, here. So looks like XPN doing the traditional standard 1 DD to each cap, 1 DD to rule them all, to rule each ring. Haha. And they have, they're sort of spreading out. Although, interestingly enough, XPN sending both battleships south to sit between A and B. That's interesting.
That is actually pretty bizarre. Looking over at XPN, they do have that Nevsky daring, and that's kind of it going to Charlie. So that may be a full abandoned ship kind of comp. As soon as like they spot any sign of resistance, they bail while they've got the 2 battleships to swing low. Sweet chariot. We've got over on the other side with NOM, we've got Spider Keegan looking at B, but not really committing to B, while we've got Polanco in the Stalingrad forming up on that island to kind of bunker up and provide radar pressure. Montana Salem chasing the daring over to Charlie, so they'll eventually have a significant force. It will definitely outman just daring and Nevsky. But the Salem has a limited amount of radar, so it might actually be a little tough to pin down that daring, now that I think about it. And down to the south, we've got a Conqueror, Stalin, Venezia, and a Holland. Venezia is absolutely going to ride the hell out of the J line and just start dunking with sap from range. The real question is, where does the Stalin go, and how much of that radar is going to rip into that Gearing, who does not have a heel, as opposed to a Holland, which does?
Yeah, that's going to be really interesting because, I mean, ideally what happens here is the Holland of Murioku, god damn it. Ideally, he's just going to spam torpedoes over and over and over again. And if he needs to trade with a Gearing gunfire, he has less DPM than that Gearing, but he has a heal, which means he can take a lot of that damage and regenerate it. So yeah, we'll see. The first radar of the game, Stalingrad of Shrimpy from XPN, seeing Spider Keegan there, who is going to start taking some fire from Big Boy's daring. However, he is going to hit the gas a little bit, get out of the way of that torpedo, and get away with nary a scratch. Does he get a scratch? No scratch yet. Stalingrad of Jet Waters taking shots at the Montana of Bookit.
Oh, wow. One of those torps actually going to connect? Nope, they're ranged out. Montana of Bookit does take a chunk in the nose, but it's not from a torpedo, as the torpedoes sink harmlessly into the water, far enough away to not give too much threat. Over at the sea cap, the daring, both darings are kind of mirroring each other, running parallel, and some actual shots out from the daring and the Nevsky over to Garfon of N Dash. He is actually taking significant damage, 5,000 damage, down and almost zoning in around 10,000, and I think the Nevsky's got the bow out as well as the daring. So while they might still provide pressure at sea, if they can hold off on running, they're going to keep their opponents over at NOM kind of tied up at sea, which is about the best thing they can do, even if they can't hold the cap, which they do hold B, as the radar from Shrimpy has effectively pushed Spider Keegan off, and he has yet to test the water once again.
Yeah,
so, Holland.
Big hit on that Holland. I didn't see that, but it looks like a Gearing torpedo connected with the Holland of NOM up here. We'll see. Man, he's already back to healing that, and he seems to be doing a fair amount. Looks like a Gearing torpedo. Nope, not going to connect with the Venezia. Big sad for them. Torpedoes from the Holland going out to try and... I'm surprised he's not throwing the torpedoes like at the clear... I mean, I believe that Namakya can actually see... They can see the Salem, so well, I'm not quite sure. That's interesting. Down here at A, of course, it's a 4v4, very even. 2v3 in the middle, but 2v3 on the top as well. And yet NOM is not really pushing their advantage on C. They should know by now that there's no battleship, so you'd think that Light Beige's Montana would sort of maybe push that advantage a little bit, but doesn't look like he's trying.
Yeah, it definitely looks like Polanco's Stalingrad is not really interested in charging into the middle of B. The weakness of the Russian cruisers, Russian battleships, well, maybe not Russian DDs, is being flanked. And if Polanco's going to dive directly into the middle of everywhere, granted, a Nevsky's not going to citadel it, but a Stalin might. And Shrimpy is he dark at the moment? Shrimpy is dark in the Stalingrad over at Bravo. So maybe Polanco's got to play a little safe, which means he's just going to kind of sit there and wait this one out. While the two darings are daring each other to do, well, frankly, nothing over at Charlie, as some little blows are exchanged, but nothing really happens. A is kind of the flashpoint, especially after taking that torpedo. The Holland is playing a little safer, although still in the cap for the block. Gearing in Asherona is looking for it, but Salem must have popped a radar or something, because out come shells for the Holland, and the Holland is indeed turning away. A is being capped.
Yeah, so clearly the lion's share of the action going on at A here, as XPN being very aggressive, pushing their Montana of Jim D312. Jim. His name's Jim D. He's pushing way up into the cap. I don't know. He's not tanking this fire well at all. He's taking hit after hit after hit. He is in very big danger of going down and has no way out. So we'll see. I'm about to burp. Ew. I'm terribly sorry. We'll see if XPN can actually handle the loss of a BB this early on. It's only about 6.5 minutes in. The BB has pushed. I want to say that its presence has actually pushed most of NOM out of the way. Now XPN sitting on 2 caps, but again, Montana going to go down in short order.
So it feels like a misplay with Jim basically being stuck getting the D, as some torpedoes are trying to come in and add some T, but they're not going to make it in time, as some shells slap the D down beneath the waves, and bonk goes one little torp. Meanwhile, while they still hold A, that was a significant reduction in presence, though the daring of B is moving over, rotating to try to assist. And over in Charlie, they have effectively pushed XPN out of the cap. The daring has traded quite a lot of health for it. Looks like 16,000 health, and the Salem is already down to half, chiseled down by the Nevsky daring alone. That Montana has bailed off to brace the Stalingrad for a morale push into Bravo, but the Salem is open water, slamming potato armor out of Charlie, looking for the first cap, going over to NOM for the game.
Yeah, really, unfortunately for NOM, they do appear to be being out-traded pretty severely by XPN up here at the A-cap, which is not what you want to see when you've committed most of your resources. Well, not most of your resources, I suppose. They committed more resources to C than XPN did, and yet they're being out-traded. That's, again, not what you want to see. The Montana of light beige I see has in fact moved over to B to try and support them, but I don't quite know what he's going to do. I'm not quite sure where he's. I think maybe he's trying to. Is he trying to get a better firing solution onto the Nevsky up here? I can't really tell.
My assumption is that the Stalingrad was loath to go in, worried that the Stalingrad might be caught flat-footed and surprise MF or Citadel'd by the movements of Shrimpy, maybe coming in with the pass over at G45. But that is absolutely, or sorry, Delta 456. That's absolutely not going to be what the case. But if the Montana does push in, they could start to bully and potentially wrap A, which would absolutely unlock this map, as the Nevsky Daring over at Charlie are too far out of position to do anything about it if that Montana got aggressive. Meanwhile, the Salem of NOM over Maj ends up taking a lot of damage, down to 8,400 health, despite the fact that he's got a Salem heal going for him. Down over at Alpha, we have over in A, slowly being able to cap it. Moskva lights off the radar, shell's going to be coming out, Moo's going to be driven from the cap, and they're going to hold A. Oh, wow, Spider Keegan, lots of shells. That looks like that's a kill. Spider Keegan suddenly is down. That's going to get rid of a DD. So one battleship down for XPN, but one destroyer and a cruiser down for NOM.
Yeah, NOM taking a lot of damage here. Now having lost their gearing and their Salem. The Daring up here at sea, not long for this world. He's being radared by the Nevsky. Really good, like big props out to Potato Armor and Nakiri Ayami for, I almost want to argue, for winning a 2v3 trade or setup against NOM up here in the A-cap. They decisively won this with very little damage coming back onto them. Looks like they're about to kill Gearfan's Daring up here. If Potato Armor wanted to, he could literally just chase down and finish Gearfan. It is their cap. Potato Armor's gonna take C again, and well, light beige. I don't know quite where light beige's focus is. His guns are on the north side, but he could be shelling this Moskva of SEAL Team 6 up here. I don't know quite what that Montana's repositioning was for.
I think that the Nevsky Daring were playing safe enough that they just felt they were not going to get anything out of the Montana, that the Nevsky was playing safe, snuggling up to an island and just not allowing any plays whatsoever. So they thought, well, we have overcommitted our resources, they're backing off, we'll just take this and be happy. And yet that Salem, just over time, whap, 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 lost all his health despite the heals, got taken out, and then the Daring of Griffon is absolutely being driven out by Potato Armor. C is gone. They're trying to make moves over at Bravo. Stalin moving in on Stalin. Palenko is spotted by a Montana. Now that is a Stalingrad, so he's going to be able to eat some damage while shooting back. And Light Bagel coming around the corner, guns probably ready to blaze into that Montana while he eats some damage from the Nevsky, which is not going to be enough to kill a battleship on its own.
Oh, Bagel, Light Bagel, not Light Beige. What's wrong with me? Yeah, so there is an opportunity here for Naumachia to get back into this, and that's going to rely on the Stalingrad and Conqueror, Montana and Stalingrad, all focusing this Montana of booking it. I think if they all four focused on him, they could get him down and then finish Shrimpy and then have a very, very strong position in B. Health-wise, the game is fairly even at this point. It really is. It's 203 to 213, Namakia's favor, actually. So, but they need to focus. Right now, they're splitting their fire between the Stalingrad and the Montana. That's not doing them any favors. Konk and Stalin up here, south of A, they need to focus on just that Montana. They need to get him down because he's the biggest threat.
Montana of Light Bagel deciding to pick a different target. Downtown shells over at the Moskva of SEAL Team 6. Not going to connect, but it was a worthy chance. That means that Booking It is still not dead as the Montana of Light Bagel runs away from the Daring of Potato Armor and gives the Montana all the bow tanking power it could ever want, as the Montana of Light Bagel and Stalingrad of Palenko have merged into the same Super Saiyan body or whatever. It's now two ships to one until Shrimpy is going to have the side of Palenko.
Oh, goodness. Okay.
And is not even looking at him.
Wow. So much is happening right now. DD's dead over at A. Two ships have just been lost for XPN, and looks like they're about to lose that Montana as well. Down goes Booking It. Wow. Okay, so the question here is, can the Nevsky of XPN, can it get any significant damage onto Palenko here? I think at this range, it's just not going to happen, really. Stalingrad of Shrimpy, gonna go down. He's literally in the middle of 5 ships. Like, look at this. The Montana just needs to shoot him through the ass, and it's GG for him. Oh my god. Jetwater Stalingrad from NOM taking 2 big torpedo hits from... on the Stalingrad of NOM, Palenko goes down. Happening.
That's one giant flashpoint that just kind of blew everybody's brains up. So Shrimpy is running for his life, taking shells from all angles with a Light Bagel that's turning in the direction of a Nevsky Daring. And God help Light Bagel if he ends up beaching, because Potato Armor just dropped torps. One has to assume that Shrimpy is not long for this world, but nonetheless, it's a 360-point difference. Which just got shored up a little. That's gonna be math, whatever. 360-ish, I think, still is the same. And the real question comes down to, we've got 2 caps to XPM, 1 cap to Naumachia. Daring goes down. Down goes Fraser. It's frankly, all these no health ships over at A have to not only take that cap, but just well, kill everything, man. Cause dude.
Okay, so Naumachia now sitting 500 points down still. However, it's 5-4 in Namakia's favor. Naumachia is about to send the Howland into A, which will get them A. I don't think that they're winning on points at this time. I'm pretty sure the only way they win here is by they need kills. And at this point, I don't think they're going to get them, and they're about to lose Light Bagel.
Oh, buddy.
Yeah, this is... I don't think Naumachia has a way out of this because they're just too committed at A, and there's no possible chance of them getting C. They're gonna need to step on C if they can't kill everything, and I don't think they have the opportunity to kill everything.
Yeah, so it looks like XPN wins on a single cap, and they win in 2 minutes 50 seconds. If you can show me which ship on this map has the ability to threaten Charlie, There ain't one. None of these know how to teleport. That's going to be in a different mode that I think got disabled. Maybe Key Battle could have done something silly
come out
like
when
that.
they introduced Russian carriers.
Oh
Teleportation
yes,
will be there.
absolutely. The Death Star will enter the game as a Tier 15 Russian CV. Until such point, the Stalingrad is making a valiant effort to sail in the direction of an enemy he can't see. 2 minutes 27 seconds. They gotta get a kill. If XPN does something to say, "Hey, I'm over here. Shoot me, please." Well, I mean, there's not much more of a way you can throw the map than that. I don't see how this is mathematically possible for XPN to go down, because detection ranges say no.
It's true. This is looking distinctly in XPN's favor at the moment. However, this has been a very cool match. No question about it. There was a lot of fun trades there in the center around B. I think that XPN, generally speaking, managed their placement better. I want to say they did map control better, despite the fact that they committed 2 battleships to one side, which I really thought was going to be decisively against their favor. But Nomakia making a bold move into the middle there, and then unfortunately sort of getting enveloped by the remaining XPN ships. Nomakia used to have a health advantage, and they are now distinctly at a health disadvantage. So I'm going to say that first match is going to XPN.
Absolutely. They maintained almost a 50 to 60,000 health advantage at one point, and then that Montana went into B, and the Nevsky of Nakiri just hammered it over and over and over, and really quickly that 50,000 up and disappeared. Some strange stuff happened after that over in Bravo, but the end result of it was a whole bunch of death that did not go the way of Namekia. Grats to XPN.
Yep, XPN taking game 1. Very exciting. Congratulations to them. A fun game, regardless. Excuse me. Good grief. Okay, well. So, first game goes to XPN. There's potentially 2 more. Next match is going to be on Land of Fire. It's going to be just a few minutes here while they get readied up.
I have to say, the stuff that happened over at Charlie was amazing. Because when it was double daring, okay, so Nevsky's cool for running, okay, expect him to run even, and the Montana didn't push. All right, I mean, the daring as Hydro, he could safely push, I think. All right, the Montana rotated, and you even called. Why did the Montana rotate? I think they just felt that they were in such a dominant position that how could they not win? And yet that Salem just bam, 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 bam. Oh no, I got to heal. Bam, 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 bam.
Yeah, right.
I absolutely 1,000,000% did not expect the Salem to just take that much damage.
That was
be
very
completely
strange.
Forced out.
Very strange, yeah. And no battleship either was the other thing about that. Like, it wasn't even being overmatched by a BB. It was just taking it from a daring and a Nevsky, correct? Or did I miss something?
No, daring and Nevsky. I don't even know if the daring fired. Like, how could the daring fire? He's got to spot him. Was he going to open water against the Salem? Hell no. Is that just all from the Nevsky? It just like blitzed through a Salem in what, 3 minutes, 4 minutes? Damn.
Yeah, it was strange. Usually people bring a Salem because that's not what happens to a Salem. You know, a Salem's got that enormous heal, and is just as tanky and has nearly the same DPM as a Des Moines. I think it has same DPM as a Des Moines, correct?
I believe they're identical, except their consumables are different, and the Des Moines has access to a unique module the Salem does not. And the Salem's radar is a little smaller or something.
Okay. I think Salem doesn't have Hydro either. Its Hydro is replaced by DFAA, right?
No, it's Hydro or radar, one or the other.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
So it's like big choice, but I mean, you gotta pick radar. So
I mean, yeah, you take radar. Why not?
Yeah. I mean, there's a saying in another game, League of Legends, where, you know, win game, lose, or win lane, lose game. And there's 3 different places you can go. So sometimes it feels like you won your side, but the other 2 didn't, and it's just too much. And, you know, they won A. They won A decisively. It really worked out with the double battleship. They really took dominance and shoved Namekia off, which really stayed off for the majority of the game. And somehow that crazy magic that happened up at sea, that was the thing that just made it happen, because you wouldn't expect it to happen, but it did. And then suddenly it's, well, hell, they've got 2 caps, we got to make a play. But where do we make the play?
Yeah, exactly. Like, what do you do? Very interesting. I'm surprised that NOM didn't push that Montana advantage against the Nevsky. Like, you know, when you've got that, you've got a BB there, and you know where the other two BBs are. You go, well, I can overmatch the Nevsky's nose. I can overmatch the Nevsky's deck. I can overmatch the Nevsky's upper hull. Man, like, just take that advantage and force that advantage is what I think. Is what I think oftentimes was missed there. Needless to say, hindsight is 2020. We are literally looking at these games from a God's eye perspective. So, no disrespect, of course, to anybody playing.
Yeah, I mean, it's all in fun. There are times when it doesn't work out for you. There's times when it does work out for you. And when it does, you want people to know that it did. Because, I mean, that's the high life. When it doesn't, maybe it sucks if you get harped on a little bit. But, you know, you're going to win the next one. Or you're going to win the one before. It's all going to work out. And everything, it's a learning experience. It's fun as hell. And the higher up you get, the more competitive and crazy it gets. So, you know, it's a little part of rolling with the tide.
Yeah, fair enough, man. Fair enough. Okay, looks like a little bit of update here. Looks like in the tiebreaker from Div C, looks like RBMK has bested Sewer, so RBMK will be advancing. Looks like Kraken bested Dash RNG Dash, so the RNG subclan. Kraken will be advancing. Let's see what else. Looks like KSF won their first match against Wookiee in the tiebreaker. Apes beat Entai in their first match. And it looks like that's all for now. Just a little heads up on Treta beating NFJF on their first match. And yep, that's it for now. So yeah, congratulations to XPN on their first match. We'll see. Looks like everybody's readied up, so we'll see here in just a second how game 2 goes.
Well, reading chat, tentative start time is 45. So looks like somebody needs a break or something, because that's 4 minutes from now.
What?
Yeah, I'm a little surprised at that. Y'all want to go at 40 or 45, and Nom said 45. So they're all looked to be readied, and yet we might have another 3 to 4 minutes of hanging out.
Okay, well, fine. Be that way.
So I hear that you got tickets to see Lizard versus Monkey.
Yes, I did get tickets to see Lizard versus Monkey. I can talk about it now, as I was sworn to secrecy previously, but I guess a few weeks ago it must have been, I was very kindly gifted the opportunity to go see the United States premiere of Godzilla vs. Kong at the Paramount Drive-In Theater, which is down in southern LA, by the NA, the North American employees for Wargaming, Mademoiselle and Calvath. They knew I lived in Los Angeles and asked if Bree and I would like to go to see that, since the Wargaming employees could not make a trip like that, unfortunately, during COVID. So, looks like we're actually going. Yep, here we go. So it was a lot of fun, and I think as anybody who enjoys warships and knows anything about naval history and whatnot will tell you, it is ridiculous to think that a gigantic monkey and a gigantic lizard could stand on top of a Nimitz-class aircraft carrier and beat each other up without at least the aircraft carrier sitting a little lower in the water. Let me put it that way.
How dare you bring realism into a Godzilla versus Monkey movie?
So, needless to say, Bree and I had a great laugh about that, and then reminded ourselves, it doesn't matter. We're watching a giant lizard fight a giant monkey. So, if you are at all a fan of Godzilla or King Kong movies, because it's just a silly fantasy that's a lot of fun, it's just entertaining, go see it. It was honestly pretty delightful. It was, you know, Bree and I like to watch TV shows like Shameless and Breaking Bad and Ozarks, which are just like darker than coffee. And again, Lizard versus Monkey was just delightful. So I encourage you all to go see it. I really do.
Well, it turns out that we've got a clash of titans here in front of us as we speak.
Get out
What's
of here.
going on with XPN there, Bogster?
Okay. Double Montana again from XPN with Salem, Moskva, Nevsky, Stali. And then again, Double Daring, but this time they've switched over Big Boy to a Kleber instead of, I forget what Big Boy played before. I think it might have been wasn't it No. Haaland is on the other side. So what's Namaki bringing?
Yeah, bringing in Montana, a Conqueror, because fire, a Venezia, a Nevsky, double Stalin, Gearing, Daring, Holland, which I believe is what they had before. I think it was double Daring Gearing is what it was that got swapped to a Kleber over on the XPN side.
Right. Okay, Gearing got swapped to a Kleber. That should be very interesting. You can jam the Kleber into A if you want. Oh, look at this. Okay. Coming in from XPN, Asherona and Big Boy, they're sending the Daring and the Kleber to to B against the Gearing of Spider Keegan. So what we might see, I guess another. Well, what in the hell is he doing? He just nosed himself right into the rock. I don't quite know why he did that, but
my assumption is that Kleber's detection is so terrible that they were looking for a surprise gank play. Maybe if the Gearing commits or gets close enough that Moskva is going to be able to radar, then suddenly it's a Daring and a Kleber right on top of him trying to rip him in half. But it does look like that got spoiled as Asherona is run out of B.
Yeah, absolutely. Asherona's Daring getting radared by the Stalingrad of Jetwaters. He's now, he's swimming in torpedo soup. I don't know if he knows about that. He's not going to back up into those torpedoes, so good on him. He is still going to take fire as Jetwaters can still see him with radar. Ooh, taking 6K off the Daring. The Moskva of SEAL Team 6 taking just a whole bunch of damage right out of the gate there as he got kind of dunked on by, I think it was a Venezia. Venezia really, really strong against the Moskva because of the armor thresholds. Other than that, XPN a little slow getting into position over here at C. It looks like they're taking the safe position, the safe route, I want to say, as not even attempting to take A, and I think NOM figured that out. So the Holland of Miririco, I'm going to go ahead and sail into A on uncontested.
That sounds like it was a record scratch from like something out of the 1980s. Anyway, we got Spider Keegan that just lost half of his ship and is running like hell from Bravo with the Daring popping smoke, and sure enough the Kleber was for a little bit of that surprise MF for action as Spider Keegan got the hell out of dodge. However, for this long play at Bravo, they gave up Alpha for free. So while they're continuing to not get a cap, although they might eventually get it at some point, looks like A is going to be taken before Bravo did, and really if it comes down to trades, the Gearing lost less health than Asherona, so not sure how that one worked out over the distance. Over at Charlie, we got Potato Armor doing the butt wiggle toward Gerfon, and don't expect too much to happen with that, as the Salem Stalin are pretty far away, as the Stalin Venezia on the other side are the same, so they might look at each other, have a little bit of a slap tickle fight, pop a smoke, and run away.
Yeah, that's looking like what's going to happen here. I can't tell if there's a rock in between. Looks like just barely. They're going to see each other here in, well, they might in 1 or 2 seconds. The two Darings at C might see each other, but it's entirely possible they won't actually touch. I can't tell. C is still being capped out by XPN. Lots and lots of damage going on to the Stalingrad of Jetwaters from NOM. Just getting stuck there. I think a big part of that was, in fact, the Kleber of Big Boy using that reload booster to light some fires. But yeah, you're right. Asherona getting the worst end of the deal out of that. We'll sort of see. It's nice that he can heal quite a bit of that up, but we'll have to see what Namaki is able to do here as 2 caps now in favor of XPN.
Yeah, looks like XPN is up by about 50,000 health, even though Asherona and SEAL Team 6 have taken considerable amounts of chunks, as well as the Stalingrad of Shrimpy. But yeah, Jetwaters, oof, all the way down to like 14,000 health. Hopefully that was a lot of fire damage, and over the next 5 to 8 minutes or so, he can blow through all of his heals and get that number way back up. Spider Keegan still down to half and looking pretty timid against the double DD front over at Bravo, as Holland Mr. Moo gets to continue throwing torps and just kind of hanging out, protecting his Nevsky bro, who is about to take some shells from a Montana over from Jim D.
Yeah, so right now I feel like the places to look are going to be at C here. The Daring is going to attempt to contest Potato Armor's Daring. Also, Spider Keegan's gearing here. He's gonna do something. I don't think he knows quite what to do here. He's sort of stuck because he knows that if he gets seen by the Daring and Kleber of XPN, he's toast and not able to actually heal any of that back. I think the only thing they really do is they start to wrap up at A. They need to push that Nevsky up a little bit. He's stealthy enough. Oh no, but I didn't even notice. Nevsky of Majra must have taken just an enormous hit out of the blue from the Montana, because he's considerably the worse for wear and is very likely unable to push anything at the moment. So question is, of course, can Namakya make use on their strong side at A and start to push up?
Yeah, speaking of the lizard and monkey, unfortunately Mothra over on the one line did not go very well when visiting Montana. Something about anti-air defenses or just frankly gigantic shells that chucked him all the way down to 12. That Nevsky is going to be taking a little breather for a little while. However, the Holland still protects A and nobody's even making eyes for it, but we do have the gearing of Spider Keegan that's daring down the enemy daring of Asherona and Big Boy 69, who I imagine has to be spotted unless he's running some kind of crazy concealment mod. Gearing is, well, frankly, what is it where you have two people that are kind of staring at each other? Who's going to blink first? That kind of gig?
Stare down? Showdown?
Yeah, that. Cool. Ends up running, though. Spider Keegan valuing the little health that he has remaining and getting the hell out before he is dead.
Yeah, so I feel like, generally speaking, as I understand this map, the key thing to do is to focus down the Stalingrad of of XPN Strimpy if you are Namakya. The Stalingrad is in a position where he cannot reverse and escape. He's just stuck there. So you get your Montana, your Daring, and your Venezia to all dump on him whenever possible. Even if you have to get the Daring into a position where he starts pencil torping Shrimpy, that's what you got to do, because he's the weak link here. He's the only one who can't get away. So I think the key thing would be to find a way to keep Shrimpy dead, even if you have to toss HE with the Montana at him. But unfortunately, I'm not seeing that happen, which is allowing Phoenix Ash's Salem to push the Venezia here. Excuse me.
Those shells into Phoenix. I mean, he's showing a lot of side to both a Stalin and a Montana. And somebody just tried to take that shot. I don't know what it was, but that didn't quite come out. But there's the Montana shells against a big, fat, slow Salem that's not looking to move. Those are looking pretty sexy, Bogsy.
Oh, there was a hit. That's got to be a Stalin, or that was either a Citadel or a sap volley from the Venezia. I can't tell which. Looks like Phoenix Ashes made the smart move and got himself closer to that rock, so he's a little less vulnerable to that Montana here. A little action over here. West of B, as the Hound of Heart Attack there, Mumuriku, and the Conqueror of Ocean LNR are attempting to provide a little bit of fire support against the Kleber of Big Boys and Asherona. So the real question here, since A is essentially completely safe, is how can Namakya redistribute their resources? They're 150 points down, almost, and they just don't seem to have the ability to stop B or C. So what do? They're not focusing on Shrimpy's Stalingrad. Who do they shoot at?
From what I'm seeing, I think Namakya rams that Montana up the 9 line like it's got no F's about nothing. They needed to win that difference between the Venezia Salem, but they were never going to win that difference. Why? Venezia has a limited damage output and the Salem has infinite damage. And if you're in like 5 to 6 kilometers away, yeah, there's a torp threat, but there's a really big Salem shooting you in the face over and over and over again, and the Venezia is just not going to win that fight. Now, if the Montana got super aggressive maybe 2 to 3 minutes ago, maybe he's got better shots on the Salem, maybe he's got better shots on that Stalin, but somebody's got to move up and take a second cap, because they've bled so many points over to XPN from this double cap holding that this is just not sustainable in any sense. Stuff's got to die.
No, absolutely not. It's at this point, it's XPN's game to lose. I don't think Namakya has figured out the way to, I guess, to counter the sort of the axles. Like Shrimpy's Stalingrad to me is the logical place to start. It's a Stalingrad. It burns a long time. You've got a Monty. Start slinging HE at it if you can't get good angles for your AP. Even get the daring firing at it if you can't do anything else. But you gotta get that down because it's keeping the daring of Gerfon from getting into the cap and actually contesting it. So, funny enough, they also haven't attempted to focus down Palenko. I mean, XPN hasn't, but that's just how it is. If I were them, I would suggest get that. Yeah, book it. Booking it, Montana. He's finally getting into a position where he can start to contest the Stalingrad of Palenko. But over on the A side, it's very strange because Namaki has had complete control over A the entire game, and yet at the same time, their Nevsky's been losing every trade.
Yes, unfortunately, Mothra has not been winning against the battle against XPN. Looks like Nakiri is able to chuck some shells over, and I'm not quite sure where Jim D is going off in Never Neverland, but XPN is sitting to the point where they can win off of a single cap. So looks like Bravo is under siege by a Gearing that is reversing into it, and pretty soon we're going to see a daring over into Charlie as Namekia realizes, holy crap, we just got to make it happen. But unfortunately, that's going to be even more points going over as Mr. Moo in Holland ends up eating a torp and going down. Lots of shells coming out from the Gearing into Asherona, but not looking to connect. Also got the Conqueror. It's a Hail Mary play when the Conqueror is in the cap because the Conqueror is going to get beat on by everybody from every single angle. And sure enough, that's exactly what's happening. He's got his heal going, I think, but the bullet sponging is it's definitely a thing. This Conqueror is looking pretty rough. 2 minutes 6 seconds to go until XPN takes it, but I mean, if they get 2 kills, which is absolutely possible, that is going to seal the deal.
Yeah, the Conqueror of Ocean Liner here, he's, needless to say, he's printing a new ship, but at the same time, he's taking so much damage that I just don't think it's sustainable. He's actually now retreating. He had been backing towards the cap the entire time. Spider Keegan actually in the cap, taking B. I believe he's gonna get it. If he gets Asherona here, which he could significantly do, he could get Asherona. That might be difference. Oh, no, he's not. Asherona's, well, he's moving forward, but he's not lit anymore. That's the big thing. 1 minute, 27 seconds until XPN walks away with this part of the series. I just don't see Light Bagels Montana now moving aggressively up. I almost wish we could have seen this earlier, but I don't know who he's going to hit. He needed to kill that Stalingrad of Shrimpy, and it just never happened.
Yeah, he took a shot at the Kleber of all things. Big Boy 69, being a Kleber at long range, it just didn't connect. There is a trade, Gearing for a Daring, DD for a DD, so a whole bunch of nothing happened there. However, XPN is blocked. They have no caps active at this time, and by all accounts, Gerfon is going to finish off the C cap. Real question is, what happens to the Montana? Looks like Phoenix Ashes has finally gotten free of the rock and is going to start chiseling in with what he's got. But down goes the Conqueror. That's going to be even closer. XPN now only 32 points away from victory. Single kill is going to do it. Somehow Namekia's got to make it happen. Kleber 1700 health, but nobody can see him. Other than that, we're going to need a god shot.
Yeah, so here's one thing to note though. Namekia controls all 3 caps. With that, XPN's not gaining any points. Namekia has all the time in the world now. However, they have to be extremely careful and not lose a ship because, like you said, they are essentially 1 kill from death. I think if they lose a cruiser, is a cruiser 35 or 40? What is it?
Even a DD, cruiser I think, is 40 points. So.
Everything in COTS is 60. Wow. Okay. So yeah, 1 kill. That'll be it. I'm guessing it's going to be the Nevsky of Majra. I'm not sure how to pronounce his name, forgive me. Kleber is going to step on B, but when he does, Stalingrad of Jeff Waters, oh dear. Yep, there's a 10k hit on Stalingrad. It's going to be difficult to see who goes down here, but Namekia wins in 4 minutes 24 seconds at current point tick if XPN doesn't lose his ship. So
well, it was just 420 not too long ago, and we just passed 420 needed for Namekia to somehow take this. I don't necessarily see a way for XPN to actually sneak a cap outside of maybe running the Kleber into Bravo, which would be one hell of a risky ass play if Jetwater takes the radar. But nope, that's going to be a kill. That's going to be XPN. I believe that's 2-0.
Yep, that's 2-0. That puts the winner of this match as XPN. They will continue to go on to Group Stage 2 tomorrow. And Nomakia, that's lights out for them, but well played. Lots of fun moves made there. So 2-0 goes to XPN. Congratulations to everybody. All right.
I just can't believe that they gave A away and still that was not enough. I'm pretty sure Namekia had A the entire game.
Yeah, actual entire game. It's
that
true.
is wow, like all those points, and still it was just not enough. I think once you start losing a ship, if you're not able to get the trades, you lose another ship. You lose another ship. It starts to steamroll and it gets really rough.